everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is you're tuning in from. My name is Emily Goodnet. I'm going to be your moderator slash leader of the call today. Teresa is traveling with her family, so she asked me to step in. So if you need anything, feel free to use the chat. We do have a couple of moderators, Heather Gorsuch and Cassandra Salidas will be joining us as well. So if you have questions, please make use of the chat there, and we'll try to get to as many of these questions as we can. We do have a special guest today. We have Chief Consultant Engagement Officer Chuck Thompson with us. That's a mouthful. We have him with us today, and we're so happy to have him. Thank you for spending some time with us today to chat about some of our questions regarding the incentive trip. So I'm not going to take up much time. I want to respect everyone's time today, so we're going to jump right into it. I believe, Chuck, if I'm not mistaken, you were sent a list of questions that had been sort of collected prior to this call.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we're just going to start right from the top, and maybe you can go ahead and start answering them. So the first question, I guess I can give them to you. We can kind of do like a Q&A type thing. So the first one is, if I choose the SFR option, do I need to earn level 3 in order for my spouse to share my room, even if they will not be attending the sessions?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to earn for 2 in order to get a room for 2.
Okay. Perfect.
Now, I'm pretty sure they'll be like we always have, though. You can buy out the room, but you wouldn't get it automatically.
Yeah, that makes sense. Perfect. Okay. Question number 2 says, could you please clarify how the promotion star rules apply in the following scenario? So point 1 says, based on the FAQ, a superstar consultant re-promoting to director would not earn a star because stars are only awarded for the highest title achieved.
There's a little bit of a they're conflating 2 answers there. Basically, if you go to the FAQs, it talks about basically reinstatements and re-promotions are all going to count for a star. So if somebody dropped to SSC, that's a title drop, and they re-promote to director, that will count. Now, going forward, that's going to be the associate mentor and the mentor. Obviously, right. In a month or so, those are going to change. The one caveat to that right now is Director Q back to director. That won't count because Director Q technically isn't a title. And so that particular one won't count. But when the new one kicks off, that's being eliminated anyway. And so anyone that is currently in Director Q will go into Associate Mentor. And so those will count. So most of this everyone will count for re-promotions.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So essentially, I mean, there's a lot of the questions in there. So basically, the way these will work is if you happen to be a reinstatement and you come back and you were just certified, but you were once like a director, then anything you'll come in as certified, and then anything above that, you're going to get a star for. If you haven't been certified before, ever, then you're going to come in as an essential. And in the new words, you're going to come in as a partner, not a certified partner. So, but if you've been a certified partner, you're going to come in at that title because that's the lowest title you go down to if you're a reinstatement. But even if you were a superstar director, when you left or when you lost your team or whatever, you'll get all of those promotion points back, you personally and the sponsor. We just decided we're in a position now where if you've lost everything, rebuilding it is as if you don't have it and as if you're building it new. So you're probably worth getting those points back. This is just where we're at right now. This is what we want to focus on. I was saying a little bit before we started. We wanted to focus this incentive on activities that build a stronger foundation for a long-term business, not just rewards for a business already built, although those are great promotions. And a lot of times our incentives are about that, kind of celebrating the work that everyone's doing, but right now our focus needs to be on rebuilding our strong foundations for the future. And that's why we put it together the way we did, and why we've been so generous on re-promotions, reinstatements. Now, the one thing too, you'll have roll-ups throughout the period of time, and any promotion that happens after they roll up will be counted to the one they roll up to. So you can't have somebody that had 4 stars for the person that quit below you, and then they rolled up to you. You don't inherit those stars. You don't inherit prior promotions, but everything that happens after they're your front line, those promotions are yours. So the only position is director Q back to director. That's the only one that's not going to count as a star.
Right. And that will only be for a limited time because of everything switching over anyway.
Well, September is when we plan on starting that. So, yeah.
Perfect. Well, it sounds like this is going to reinvigorate and re-energize a lot of people to get excited about their business again. I know I can't wait. I've been in a bit of a recruiting lull myself. So I've been very intentional and digging through my reports and things like that to see who I can reach out to and talk to. So it's definitely doing the...
Well, and one thing we've seen in the past is because certified was it was really the only thing that got points for. We just saw a lot of activity where the sponsor kind of quit on the person after they were certified, or they, sort of played with the numbers a bit just to get those points. We're hoping to avoid that because it doesn't build long term. It's such a temporary thing. And that's why we wanted to give these extra points. And the other part of it too is everybody, whether they're brand new or whether you're a very successful superstar director, is pretty much on an even playing field to earn these stars and to earn the top rewards. Nobody has an advantage in this one. And we wanted to, on purpose, make it as simple as we could, because we have enough change on you guys to make the incentive trip complicated to figure out. So that was sort of our goal on that, and to take away as many exceptions as we possibly could.
Perfect. All right. So to keep it moving, we're going to move on to the next point here. It says another FAQ indicates that if someone loses their team, drops back to certified, and then re-promotes, each promotion from certified can earn a star. I think we kind of covered that already.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Now, I don't know why anybody would want to give up their team and re-promote, but honestly, they have to build as if they didn't have anything. So... Now I will say this, if there's a restoration, which we don't do a lot of them anymore, where somebody gets their downline back, that they don't get to re-promote because they got their downline back. So they really have to start fresh. So
perfect. All right. So the next point under that same heading is, how would this apply to someone who, 1, previously held a higher title, 2, lost their team and was demoted to certified after inactivity, 3, was later terminated after continued inactivity, and 4, reinstated and began promoting again? I think
the same. It's all the same. I think there was a little bit of confusion when I was reading the questions, in that there's a different path between demoting, like losing your team but never quitting, and quitting and reinstating. There's no difference on how those are treated.
Okay.
Again, the simplest way to say it is the only one that isn't going to count as a re-promotion is director Q back to director.
Right. That's pretty simple. Okay. Would this follow the certified re-promotion guideline and earn stars for each promotion, or the reinstatement guideline where stars are only awarded for achievement? No, we've already...
Yeah, see, that's right. That's where I was reading these questions going, there's some confusion on that. So yeah, there is no difference between the two.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and hop to the third
fantastic questions. Whoever wrote those are great questions.
From what I understand, these were questions that were submitted by superstar directors who have kind of dug through everything. So it's really good we're getting like a concise answer to these, which is great. It gives us a little more confidence. Okay,
and here it is with this added context. Hopefully, when you read the FAQs, There's a lot of times we try to make the FAQs really simple and people will read into them instead of just accepting them as they are. And so hopefully with this, we can train everybody and you can train yourselves to look at as it's written. Don't try to bring into it thoughts from the past or whatever. Just read clearly what it is. And then we can clear up confusion. But bringing in old habits, you kind of need to read all the FAQs as if you're a brand new you have no idea what we're even talking about. So keep going.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so the third question is, has any consideration been given to awarding stars for consistently being paid at title?
Oh yeah, when we were building this, when we were deciding what to do and kind of reinventing the incentive points and what we were doing, I think our last one, we were almost 6 years of sort of the same program. And so we knew we wanted to redo this one completely and have something brand new and fresh. So yes, absolutely. The thought was, hey, what about a star for paid at title and things like that? And ultimately, we just decided that's not the direction we wanted to go. Again, when I was talking earlier, we really wanted this one to be all about new growth and new success, not simply a reward for what had already been built. And that just is the nature of where we're at in the business right now. And incentive trips are for that. They are to incentivize activity that isn't naturally happening. And so that's why it was set up the way it is. And that's why the idea of that one got rejected when we were putting this together.
Yeah.
But it's an absolute fantastic thing to recognize. And insert in different times, but this particular one, it just wasn't going to be a focus.
Yeah. And we know incentive trips are really designed to make us get a little uncomfortable with ourselves and look at different parts of our business where maybe we're weak and we need to grow a bit. So again, like to echo what you just said, we're not really looking to reward effort that's already been done. We're looking, your effort now and earning the trip is a direct reflection of everything you did the 6 months prior. So,
Yeah.
And that's really what it should be about. So that's good. Okay. So question 4 says, would it be possible to announce each month's challenge in advance?
I'm not 100% sure on what our cadence is of that. But one thing we've known over the past is you never want to announce something that's going to change behaviors in a negative way. It's one of the dangers of, and we see it a little bit, because it's human nature that you're going to look at something and and that is not a weakness or a fault or dishonesty or anything else. It's just human nature that you're going to look at this and say, wow, I can take advantage of that. But it can be really tempting to make a bad decision to go forward. So for example, let's say the reward going forward is selling a whiff box, just the one we did. And you have somebody 3 days ago or a week ago that wanted to buy a whiff box, but you knew that if you sold it in August, you'd get a star or whatever it is. And that you told that person, they're sold out, or you did something and say, hey, why don't you wait till August? There's a really good chance they're not going to buy it all. And so you end up giving something up for the hope of something in the future, and it doesn't happen. It happens with recruiting. If for your own purposes, you're holding back someone's recruiting, that generally backfires. So a lot of times when you're told too far ahead, it actually could be harmful. So I'm not sure of the cadence. I'm sure it's not going to be weeks ahead or a month ahead. It'll probably be maybe a few days before it starts. But because it will last all month, there's going to be time to it's not going to have to happen on the first of every month. So you're going to have time to adapt to whatever those monthly challenges are.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay, so the next one, question 5 is, could you clarify whether a former director who is currently a superstar consultant can earn we already talked about this,
Yeah.
can earn a promotion by promoting back to director / mentor?
I mean, are these interactive?
Yeah, of course.
Because I want to go back to the other one where it says, and maybe I answered already, but it said visibility so to help us plan, strategize, and coach.
Oh, are we talking about the monthly
Yeah, one of
challenge?
the previous ones. So
Oh yeah.
it, is that usually, hey, we like this one, it's five whiff boxes. If you had a separate week, you had one more week or whatever, you'd be able to plan and strategize for what's going to happen in that month. Or does it depend on what the reward is?
I mean, we know the reward is a star, but I think
Sorry,
maybe
the activity, what the activity is.
maybe like if it's a recruiting focused activity, for example, that might simply not be a month might not be enough time, right? If we're only learning of it the day of, then we basically have 29 days to do what we need to do. But if it's a sales one, like the five whiff boxes, I don't think anyone really needs to. I mean, I shouldn't say that, worry too much about that, but finding out maybe on the end of month live, which I imagine maybe they might do that. That would be okay too. Oh, we have someone who's raised their hand.
I was going to say, I would say, given this one, given this promotion, I'm highly skeptical, and I don't know yet. And to be honest, what we're going to do on these monthly ones is we're watching kind of where the ship needs to be steered, and we'll make decisions on what we do for the monthly ones as we see things happen. But for now, because there's so much built into this as recruiting and helping people promote, I don't really see a lot of these monthly challenges being recruiting based.
Okay, that's good to know.
Um,
That's good to know. And for those of you who want to interact, we love that. I'm just going to ask that you refrain from raising your virtual hand, at least for now, until we get through the initial questions that we have for Chuck today. And then if there's time at the end of the call, which we're making great time, honestly, but if we get through the end of them and there's time, we'll absolutely call on those who want to come on and raise a virtual hand. So,
Hey, Emily, the other part too is if we want, because I know these Spark sessions are meant to be a certain digestible part. If we want, once we've reached that limit for what we like to post, and we want to just turn off the recording so you can post that, but stay on and have some more questions, I'm totally willing to do
perfect.
that as well. We
That
just don't
works
want to
for me.
make this a 2-hour Spark. That just doesn't work.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. I
Okay,
think
let's
normally
keep going.
general rule is like 45 minutes. So, okay. So the question six is promoting to certify. Oop, I'm just going to mute a couple people here coming in. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Is promoting to certified considered a title promotion that earns a star? If so,
If it's their first time promoting, yes.
it says, if so, does the consultant need to have joined during? Okay. Yes. Well, that's been, I think that's actually answered in the FAQ.
Yeah, no, if they've never been certified before, all they have to do is become certified within the time frame of the incentive. But I know where this question probably is coming from, so I'll answer one that wasn't asked. Becoming active isn't a promotion. So first time active, they had to have joined in July and become first time active sometime during the incentive period or during the incentive period.
And first time active does earn you a star.
Yes. Yeah. But those are for brand new people, first time active.
Right. So it does not apply to their sponsor. The sponsor doesn't get a star for them going active for the first time.
I think they do. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I better check that. Cause I think, first time active is a star for the sponsor.
Oh, okay, great. I was going to say, you know what? Someone will let us know in the chat,
Yeah.
either
No, it
Heather
is.
or
It
Cass,
is.
I'm sure.
But those don't count. Ones that have been around for 2 years and have never gone active.
Right.
Those
No.
won't count. They'll need
Would
to
have
be
had to have
certified to
been.
get a star.
Okay.
Or
All right.
partner.
Perfect.
Gonna be weird remembering those.
Okay, question 7 we also covered. It's talking about the former director drop to SSC.
Mhm.
Yes, we've already covered they would earn a star. So we're just going to jump to question 8. Regarding promotion stars, an existing frontline consultant who joined prior to August 1st promotes to certified consultant during the incentive period. Do both the sponsor and the promoting consultant earn a star?
Yeah, on each of the promotion points, if you look at the FAQs and you look at it, it's a star for the person promoting and it's a star for their sponsor.
Okay.
So any new promotions, there'll be a star for each, the sponsor and the individual.
Okay. And the last question we have here is, does a brand new first-time WIFBox Club subscription qualify for the WIFBox Star?
No,
No. They have
no,
to
they
be sold
can't be.
outside of Club.
It has to be outside of club. Yeah, even new.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, that is all those questions. So now we're going to hop over here to the chat really quick and see, Heather or Cass, were there any questions that weren't answered here that you want us to cover on the video?
I just saw one that I would not be able to answer at all. Should I be concerned about the promotions selling out? The promotion for the month. So the whiff box is selling out. I mean, I'm assuming y'all would just replace the contents and it would still count, but Chuck, do you want to address that?
Yeah, no, if and we always had to put that while supplies last, but if something like that happened, would figure out an alternative.
Okay.
I will say this though, as with everything, I wouldn't hold off and wait, but I also wouldn't panic if it's taking you a little bit of time to get new customers or someone else engaged. Our plan is to only offer things that are going to be able to last for the month or something that's not going to be subject to really quick sellouts.
That's good. So someone did ask a good question, I think, because traditionally in past incentives, we've offered like one PRV for 1 point of sales or whatever. Now this year it's different because you get 1 star if you do at least 2,500 PRV. Someone asked, if you say did 5,000 PRV in a month, could you potentially get 2 stars, or does it cap out at 2,500 PRV and that's it?
It's capped out at 2,500. Now, that being said, we do have our monthly stars. So I would venture to say, I'm not committing because I don't know, but there is a possibility, but that's the times when we would have, hey, in this month, you get a star for every 2,500 PRV or something like that. So, but yeah, currently, again, it's and we know there are people that have tremendous sales and they do a lot of, that's just how they do their business. And for that, they earn quite a bit of commission, and it's just the way they run their business. When we talk about incentives, we would love it. We would absolutely love it if we could create an individualized incentive that would reward everybody for what they needed to do. But you just can't. So we have to look at incentives, these kind of things that we offer, as general incentives of what we want it to do, what we want the organization to do as a whole, and what we think is probably good for.
Yes, I told you, no, I can't take over. I'm on a live.
Sorry about that.
Oh, we've had worse. Jalen, you're okay. Don't worry about it.
I try to catch him as quick as I can.
We've had worse. I think, Heather, you've probably been on the old calls that Orville used to do. Put it this way, we were happy to hear they washed their hands after they were done. That's all I'm saying.
There we go. Okay.
But anyway, so we build those for that purpose. And, and we know that anyone that strives for it, even if they don't actually end up earning the trophy of the event, you don't actually end up earning the incentive. If you put the work forward, you're just going to become better at everything in your business. And, one of those things, if you have the question, but one of those things that I see every time is a lot of people spending a lot of time, okay, what do I need to do, and making a plan to get just enough and to do this. And this time around, I just admonish, look at what you have to do. It's pretty simple. You have to recruit, you have to help them promote, and you have to sell 2,500 a month. Don't worry about, I've got enough stars. Just do those things to the best of your ability.
Yeah.
Give it your all and let the chips fall where they may. And I think you're going to be absolutely surprised, especially if you've been one in the past that manipulates the point. Not manipulates, that's a bad way. That is focused on the points and what you're doing to get the points versus just focusing on your business. I think if you take my challenge and just focus on your business and let them happen, I think you're going to find you have even more success than if you're focusing on the prize and not on becoming a better consultant or becoming those kind of things. I was looking at something kind of funny. I can't play guitar. I'd love to, but I've tried and I just don't have the ability to do it. But there are about 200 million guitar players casual guitar players in the world. 200 million. And each of them probably practices a little bit to get better and to get better and to get better. Some of them dream of stardom. There are about 500,000 to get paid to play guitar. Seriously. I mean, they get paid like professionally. And about 5 million that get paid on the weekends and those kind of things. And but all of those 200 million strive to be a little bit better each day. But if they just focused on, well, if I'm not going to get paid, I'm not going to even try to get better, then they just never improve. And so our goal always with these incentives is not only to celebrate the ones that achieve it. Absolutely. We love doing that. But the real joy for me and for a lot of us as we watch is people whose businesses have transformed, even if they fell a little bit short, because they're generally the ones that the next year are coming and the path was a lot easier for them the second time around because of the habits they gained. And Heather, you kind of talked about it before we started. Right now, we need to get back to our good habits of becoming really good guitar players. And if we play a weekend gig or if we get invited to the big stage is secondary to becoming good guitar players again. And so anyway, I'm sure there's more. I'm going to take a little drink. Sorry.
Perfect. Okay, so I have a couple of questions that I think are kind of similar. I think we already covered this one. Do new consultants get a star when they're first time active? I'm just looking at the qualifications on my workstation right now, just trying to make sure that I'm giving accurate information. Okay, so there was another question. I'm going to answer it really quickly. It says, there's a question here in the FAQ. It says, can I receive stars for frontline going active who joined before August 1st, 2026? The response is yes. If they joined in July and go active for the first time during the qualification period, meaning they couldn't have gotten active in July. They could join in July, but they couldn't be active in July. Otherwise, that's not the first time.
Right. I need to I'm gonna go on hold just one second because I need to make sure, because I think I said before that the consultant gets a star for going active. I need to to qualify that one. Give me just 1 second.
We have a couple people asking, so that'd be great. Thanks,
I need to just give me.
Okay. In the meantime, I'd love to know what's everybody working on today in the office. Sorry, I'm catching up in the chat. Patty, I see your question, but I'm just trying to get sense of the context here. Love it. Some are getting ready for events. Some are making up sample packs. Love it. Printing Happy Mail. Awesome.
All right. I'm glad I clarified that.
That was quick.
Yeah, no, I mean, looking at the FAQs, it's correct. The sponsoring, the consultant going active doesn't get a star.
Okay, it's just for the sponsor.
Just for the sponsor. And that's what the FAQs say. So
okay, perfect. Because I wasn't
definitely wanted to clear that up.
Thank you.
Sorry. I'm glad we cleared that up because I
I have actually a couple questions here. I was thinking about them while you were chatting. The tracker, because right now the only way to access the information about the trip is through the general announcement news. Nothing has been added to the actual incentive tab of our workstation. When does that go live again?
They're programming it, and they haven't given us a timeline, but we believe before the end of the month, the tracker should go live.
Okay, so before September 1st. So in the meantime, everybody should just do their best to manually track and then verify that
Yeah,
against.
it will. Again, it's the first month of a 6-month incentive. So,
Okay, perfect.
and based on what they have, they should. I mean, this should be one that would be pretty easy to manually do because it's all frontline.
Right.
Right. There's nothing about team. It's all frontline stuff. But still,
Yeah.
the track will be up as soon as it can. They just have to program them each time.
Perfect. And this might be this is maybe not quite trip qualifications, but I was curious for those who, because now that Sensi's not booking the travel for us, they are for the Africa trip, but not for Iceland. Where would a person, where are we sailing out of? Do you know? Like where
Amsterdam.
Oh, Amsterdam. Okay, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, there'll be details on that. Sailing out of Amsterdam and flying home from Reykjavik.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. Okay, I'm just looking to see if there are any other questions. Cass, did you see anything come in? I know you've been active in the chat. Thank you so much.
So let's see. Yeah,
Oh, she's
Jalen,
on mute.
hopefully
Cass,
I
you're
answered
muted.
that. Hopefully I answered that question that
Oops.
only you get the star. The new consultant doesn't get the star.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Yep, it looks like pretty much everything that he answered either got answered or someone commented or I grabbed it. Looks like everybody's up to a lot of good stuff. I think what I wanted to just add to it there, what Chuck was saying, when you're working on the right activities, and that's why a lot of times you'll have leaders that will run challenges, incentives around things like this. And we have you guys doing the activities like booking parties and talking to people about fundraising. And when you do the right activities, like he was saying, they do really go where they need to go. And then about a month out, you can look at things and see where your strength is. And then you can, at that point, make a kind of end of the game plan. But until then, I would say pay attention to where you can get stars, which are all activity on helping others, helping your own business, servicing your customers properly. And everything he's so right. Every trip I watch it happen, it's like a little bit gets sprinkled into each bag. So that's all I wanted to add. And yeah, he did a good job answering the question so far. I think this incentive's so basic that we're overthinking it.
Agreed.
If that makes sense, it's like with the star system, I think some of us are like, oh, but you needed 30,000 points. Read exactly the way it's worded. It is so simple to comprehend. I mean, anyways, so far, I know there's always going to be stipulations, but he kind of cleared some of those up too. Yeah, don't chase 26 stars. Chase your next star. I like that, Alicia.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Gloria, there is one question. Gloria asked, will there be an SFR incentive level? There isn't a dedicated SFR level. There isn't a registration at SFR or anything like that. SFR can be chosen instead of going on the trip, but there isn't a separate SFR level. In the past, we've had that, registration for reunion, and that we don't have that this time. Great questions, you guys.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, it looks like we're all caught up. I know there was someone that had raised their hand earlier. If you'd still like to come on, you're more than welcome to. We have time for maybe one or two if they're short.
I can go Kelly, if hopefully you got your answer, but if you have dropped to SSC, then yes, when you re-promote to director, you will get a star. If you're just in Director Q right now, no. A Director Q back to Director won't. But if you've lost your title down to Superstar Consultant, then you will. Again, those are going away. So going forward, that Associate Mentor to Mentor, if you drop down to Associate Mentor and you re-promote to Mentor, those will count as well. And anyone in Director Q will come in as an Associate Mentor. So.
Perfect. Debbie, you've got your hand raised. You want to come on and talk to us?
Hi guys, thank you so much for answering these questions. One question that may have already been answered, but I want to ask about SFR. So if you earn level 1, can you pick SFR? And if so, what does it cover?
Level 1 is earning the trip, right? Without a flight credit. Yeah. So it would cover the registration and the room and some per diem for food.
Okay, so same thing. If you earn level 2, you just double that, right?
Those get a flight credit.
And flights too. Okay, okay.
Yeah, and definitely those that have gone that route before. SFR is certainly not an incentive trip. There's no room drops. There's nothing that we try to, if we can, we accommodate and maybe make a special room for you, a VIP room or something like that. But typically speaking, it's impossible, nearly impossible logistically wise to carve out an incentive trip type thing at Reunion.
But do you know what it is? If you do choose SFR, it is you investing into your business if you couldn't otherwise. There's totally been years where if I take the trip and I really want to go on the trip and I can afford to do SFR, I do it. But for the years that I've not been able to, or I had to decide on one date or the other what worked for my family, I will always, always, always choose SFR because I know how good it is to be together, to gather the pictures and what it does for your business. So if you're debating that way, don't let that little extra stuff stop you. If that's the only way you can go to SFR, please do so. Sorry, Chuck, to hijack that, but I just wanted to.
No, you're fine.
SFR.
Just one more here, Patty Hansen. I don't know what you were asking. Reinstatements don't count though, correct? And someone says, no, they don't. They must be new. So I don't know which one you were talking about there. And
yeah, it is nice to have that flexibility because, I mean, I do have people on my team that are trip runners every year, and sometimes the dates for them just don't work. I know that it's a lot harder for me to take a trip in June. Not that I don't try to make it happen anyway, but my kids are still in school. In some areas of the country, you guys are already off for summer break, but that's not the case for me where I am. So sometimes SFR is the best option. Otherwise, some people with full-time jobs, they can't take 2 separate vacation times either. So sometimes they have to be very careful about what they choose, and they want to choose the option that's going to benefit their business. So we have to definitely commend those people who choose, forward thinking about their business. I would never, barring, some kind of crisis personally, I would never miss an SFR if I could help it. Even with the increased cost of travel this year, I did what I needed to do. I cut out other things. I did eliminate other trips to home office, but I was like, I'm not missing SFR because I love being with my team. So that's just, if I didn't have another option or I couldn't take the incentive trip, SFR is regardless of the extras you may not get, it is absolutely always worth attending. You will leave better than before you went, for sure. So.
Every story that starts with at this one SFR. And mine was 2013, hearing Megan Clemens speak, hearing she was Canadian, I'm Canadian, she has 3 kids, I had 3 kids. And I thought, that's where my saying became a thing. If this girl could do it, so could I. So I think SFR has been that game changer for so many people that are higher in the company as well now. So really try to prioritize it, even if, anyways, you guys are going to earn and you're going to get to choose, and it's going to be amazing because you're here and you're showing up and you're learning all the things.
Hey, Amanda, your statement is actually my biggest concern as well. And I look at the World Cup that just happened. I mean, a lot of us aren't even interested much in that sport, but we found ourselves watching and cheering for things that we didn't realize. Can you imagine if every athlete on a team that knew they were never going to win the World Cup just says, I'm not even going to show up to play, right? Most people, unfortunately, the world is, a lot of people don't make it. This time. But last year, last World Cup, Argentina was, raised the trophy. This year they didn't. But they never got out of the game. And that's where I always try to go back to the purpose of these incentives is to help you, motivate you to do something that you wouldn't normally do. And that makes you better all around. And yes, we hope you earn it. But that's just the trophy at the end of the tournament. But the fact that Ronaldo got to participate in a tournament for the 6th time, I don't think he's ever won a World Cup. I could be wrong, but I don't think, he's one of the greatest players that has ever lived, and he's never been on an incentive trip. Right? So that's where I hope people don't count themselves out, because they're giving up on themselves to become better. And that's always a really hard thing to watch. So we want them to be encouraged by what we offer, but not discouraged if they feel they can't make it. And every single year, we have many that are on the trip with us that said, at the beginning of this, I thought there's no way I'm going to earn this, but I decided to go for it anyway. So, man, I just encourage you all to go for it. And we hope you come. We hope you make it, because that'll mean great things in the future, not just in 2027. It'll mean great things for your business going forward. But we absolutely celebrate all of you that strive and maybe fall a little short, because we know your businesses will be stronger too.
Well, I think that is a great place to end it for today. Thank you so much, Chuck, for joining us and for chatting with us today about the incentive qualifications and clearing up a few things for us. Thank you again, Heather and Cassandra, for helping me today with moderating the chat. And for all of you who hopped on today, we appreciate it, those who could join live. If you're watching in the recording, glad you're joining us there too. And please don't forget, we have Spark sessions on the regular. So check with your upline directors, superstar directors, to find out when the next one is, and join us there. So hope you all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.